And certainly we've been driving around the streets of Bloemfontein. What we've witnessed is that the city is painted with the ANC colors, with a large number, thousands in fact, of ANC supporters marching in and around the Bloemfontein CBD, saying that they've come to give support to Ace Magashule, the Secretary General, whom we understand has already made his way to the Bloemfontein Magistrate Court. They are coming from all walks of life, if you like, including the provinces like Mpumalanga, Gauteng, and even the Eastern Cape. One thing that they want to sort of send across is the fact that they will stand firm in support of their Secretary General, Ace Magashule, who is expected to actually make that appearance in court. I managed to spot one or two of them to tell us, why was it important for you to come here today in Hlekasi?
We're from all the way from...
Right, what we're going to do now is, Abongile, we're going to go back to him in a short while. You can see he's in the middle of an interview. We want a catch of this. This is Pule Mabe speaking to the media. I hope it's still happening. Let's quickly cross into this.
There are numbers that have to be inside court, so you can't be beyond the number that is required.
Are you happy the supporters have made their way here despite the COVID-19 protocol?
Well, I'm not sure. I came here just on my own to do what I've done last time, just to understand the nature of the case, so that we're also able to go and report back to the organization as well.
Mr. Mabe, does this...
Or are you here on behalf of the ANC?
What is an individual, and I don't understand.
That's what the NEC said. People must come in individual capacity.
I'm here the same way I was last time. So you can go and check. You can go and check the footage.
What was that way last time?
Well, the footage is there to show.
Are you supporting Mr. Magashule ahead of the court proceedings?
Of course, he's the Secretary General of the ANC. I'm supporting him. That's why I'm here.
Mr. Mabe, does these charges that may be seemingly added against Mr. Magashule exacerbate the political tensions within the governing party? There are some who feel as if there is a political persecution against those leaders of the ANC who are pro-radical economic transformation.
Well, I don't think that is the case. The ANC has spoken about all of these issues. But I think what we must just warn the media is being asked questions of whether we support Magashule or not. He is the Secretary General of the ANC. He was elected at the 54th National Conference. He's still SG. He's acting in that position as Secretary General. He was in our last National Executive Committee meeting. So why should we be asked whether we support or not support the SG? We are part of that collective and support everyone in that collective. We are here so that we could have a fair appreciation of what is happening in court, so that when we communicate out, we can be able to communicate from a point of view of being informed. We are not just trying to sneak our way.
So much about whether people can support the SG or not,
yes.
But it also has to do with the very reason you were raising earlier about people gathering here, people coming out here outside the courtroom. We've heard people saying that, ANC supporters saying they're going to come out here in court in their large numbers. What is your response to that, and what is your attitude to these people who will be coming out here later?
Well, of course, I mean, the Secretary General has himself spoken. Those that are coming to court or are showing support to the SG have got to do so in a very dignified way. They've got to make sure that in how they support the SG, it does not undermine the decorum of our own law enforcement agencies. That's why it's important that the leadership of the ANC is here to make that kind of a watching brief, to be able to calm those supporters that could be here, encourage them to make sure that the display of support is not one that undermines order.
But Pule, we do know that the ANC, in fact the government has said that there are no political gatherings up until this point. But we saw the hundreds of people who were outside here the last time, and we understand that those people will be back here again today. And the last time they were addressed by the ANC Secretary General. Will he be doing same today?
Well, I don't know. I mean, this is not a political gathering, really. It's a court hearing. So,
But I mean, you saw the things out there. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yes.
As to what is your response to that?
Well, I don't know. The ANC's attitude really is that we are here to observe the court proceedings, be able to make sure that we've got a fair understanding of what is happening, so that when we communicate, we are doing so from an informed point. The call we are making to anyone that might be coming through to show or display their support is that such must not go against the decorum of our own law enforcement agencies. There's got to be order. Where people display support, they must do it in an orderly and respectful manner. so that it doesn't create unnecessary ruckus.
Mr. Mabe, on a separate issue, we saw a conflation of party and state yesterday at Kotagatunuse in Nkandla, where the police minister went to visit former President Jacob Zuma. Was Begitele sent there on official government business or ANC business?
Well, I wouldn't really know, but he's a member of the National Executive Committee, so if there's any outcomes out of those engagements that would have to do with the ANC, he will surely brief the appropriate offices in the ANC. And if he has had communications with those relevant offices, in this instance, the Office of the Secretary General, that effectively deals with all of those matters, they would effectively be able to file those there.
But as far as you know, he was not sent by the NEC or delegated by the leadership?
No. I do not have a responsibility to delegate people in the ANC.
No, I'm talking about the NEC.
No, but I'm just saying, even the NEC doesn't. The power of delegating members of the National Executive Committee in terms of the Constitution is carried over by the Secretary General's office. And when the Secretary General's office delegates or sends cadres of the movement to perform this or that task, it doesn't have to call the NEC.
So we can say he was sent by the Secretary General.
I can't be responsible for assumptions made by journalists. All I'm saying to you is that I don't know. So I mean, I don't know. If I knew, I would be telling you. So I don't know.
You'll come back to us and let us know once you do?
Well, I don't have to come back to you. When you meet with me again, you can ask.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mabe. That was Pule Mabe, the ANC spokesperson. But what we've just come to know by some of our sources is that the ANC was effectively told that the SG can have two support people inside court to be alongside him. That is Sam Mashinini, the provincial chairperson. We saw Posane as well, who's an aide of the Secretary General of the African National Congress and friend. It seems as if Mr. Mabe is also trying to make his way inside court, but we've effectively been told that the SG was allowed two people inside court. We do know that a number of leaders of the African National Congress who are allies of Ace Magashule have descended upon the city of Roses, Bloemfontein, to try and support the Secretary General. We do know that Supra Muhammapilo is in town. We do know that Mzwandile Masina, the Ekurhuleni regional chairperson, is in town. We do know that the likes of KB Maphatwe, Des van Rooyen, they are also in town. We do know that the acting provincial secretary of Mpumalanga, Lindiwe Nchalinchali, is also in town to support the Secretary General of the African National Congress. And the likes of Ngwenya, a very controversial person when it comes to the politics of Mpumalanga and staunch ally of the Deputy President D.D. Mabuza, is also leading a delegation of the other faction within Mpumalanga here in the Free State to support the Secretary General of the African National Congress. So the factions of Mpumalanga, both of them, that of Ace Magashule and that of D.D. Mabuza, the DP, they are also here in Mpumalanga. We've not seen any leaders as yet from KwaZulu-Natal who may have made their way here to support the SG of the African National Congress. From Gauteng, we've seen the likes of the provincial chairperson of the ANC Youth League, Matume Chilwane, who's also the portfolio committee chairperson of education. He's also here as well. And Takota Likhwete, an ANC, NEC, and NWC member, has also descended upon Bloemfontein. Back to you in studio.
All right, Samkela Maseko definitely got this one covered for us there, just at the steps of the Magistrate's Court there in Bloemfontein. You can see there is a big scramble by journalists to get the coverage, to get the footage and see of course, those that are wanting to go in and support the SG. Seems like there's a lot of people, but as you heard from Samkela, only two officials allowed in the court to support him. Well, now we're showing you visuals inside the court, and this is what we're going to be bringing you live in a couple of minutes' time. We also, of course, were in the middle of a crossing with Abongile Dumako. He is also standing by, and I think we've got you again, Abongile. Apologies for crossing out, but as you know, this is a developing story and constantly things are being updated. So let's try that again and come back to you. Just talk to us about, again, where you are. And I know you're in the middle of an interview.
Yes, certainly, Leanne, a busy day in Bloemfontein coming out of that Magistrate's Court. Same as what is happening across the CBD here in Bloemfontein. The streets are painted in ANC regalia colors as thousands and thousands of ANC supporters who are coming out strongly in supporting Ace Magashule, their Secretary General, saying that they are not going to back down. They will forever be behind the Secretary General. They're saying that hands off the SG of the ANC. They come from across the country, including Mpumalanga, Gauteng, and some coming from the Eastern Cape. As we were driving around, Leanne, here in the CBD in Bloemfontein, we managed to spot a few who are actually camping out in the corner. They are from Mpumalanga. They are joining us now to tell us ukuthi kubaleke ngani baba ukuthi nize la namhlanje nito supporter ubabe Ace Magashule.
Kusuka kwethu eMpumalanga around Nkomazi la ngiqhamuka khona mina manje. Lana sto support complete SG. SG sinakungumanje sihamba naye as a General Secretary of the ANC. Lokusukusho kungumanje lokhu ngeke sijike kuko ukuthi complete SG is innocent up until proven guilty. So complete SG supposed to hands off kude lokhu singakhuluma ngakho.
And for wena abantu le ndaba ukuthi kumele umuntu lo onetinsolo ukuthi unokukhwabanisa ne-corruption kumele athi ukuswaya kancane njengeMpumalanga niyibona kanjani?
No, thina kude into esingayikhuluma u-Ace bamsolela thina si-ANC, the member ye-ANC National General Secretary, siyamsupporta until likhoto lisho lona lithi limbona ukuthi guilty or not guilty. So now sizela because it's a member of the ANC. Nathi si-ANC siyamsupporta as a General Secretary ye-National. So thina kude singakhuluma sifuna kuyomamela ukuthi ikhoto ithini, abantu abazombambeka insolo ukuthi yena ugangile. Thina sikwazi lokho si-ANC sifuna ukwazi ukuthi ikhoto lona libona kanjani, because i-law yiyo decide ukuthi umuntu u-right or u-wrong. So thina you come from the Mpumalanga, sihola original chairperson wethu uNgrayingwenya. So now sithela sizosupporta imember yethu General Secretary we-National.
Thank you so much, Siyabulela kakhulu. Leanne, there you go. Some of the supporters of the ANC Secretary General on the grassroots level, coming all the way from the Mpumalanga province in Nkomazi, saying hands off Secretary General. The first gentleman we spoke to actually did make mention of the fact that they want to see the law taking its course, but this guy, Secretary General Ace Magashule, is proven guilty, is actually innocent until proven guilty. You can see the excitement, the adrenaline pumping right behind me. And of course, the second gentleman who spoke to saying that he was not going to say a word on the fact that there is this a resolution from the 54th elective conference of the ANC that says, in fact, if you are somehow involved on a corruption charge or something of that sort, you need to step aside from a position. They're saying that they don't have anything much to say. What they're going to do is allow the courts to do their job and prove Ace Magashule otherwise. Then they will be able to respond in that front. A lot of anticipation, Leanne, ahead of, in fact, during this very court appearance of Ace Magashule. I can actually hear now a helicopter roving around the streets of Bloemfontein. Police all over the show trying to keep, all things under control. We are waiting to see then what's going to happen immediately. We understand as well that immediately after he makes that appearance, Ace Magashule will come and address some of these people who will be gathering at the local stadium here and wait to hear what he has to say after his appearance just a jiffy.
All right, Abongile, thanks very much for the update. Speaking to supporters there for SG Ace Magashule's appearance in Bloemfontein in the court, as you can see from the block in the corner of the screen there, you can see there's activity in the courtroom, that people are coming in and out of that courtroom, but proceedings obviously are yet to begin. We know that 3 of the accused have arrived at the courtroom, including the SG, but we'll certainly, as soon as anything else happens outside that court, we'll go there and bring you scene setters and any other news that comes through. But the other news you need to know is what's happening on the weather front. It is, of course, Friday. The weekend is upon us. Azri's standing by, so let's go to him. Let's get a weather update.